guys, I'm Alisa Reyes, and you are watching 90s News.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Isaiah Stewart here, and welcome to an incredibly, super, amazingly special edition of 90s News. We got an interview with the awesome, incredible, lovely, talented, all that star, Alisa Reyes. And just a fair warning, I was so nervous, my body was numb, and my legs were shaking, and I barely talk. The most I say is, that's awesome. Yeah, so please check out the interview, and I will see you at the end of the video. Bye-bye! Whoa! Alright, so I got some questions here. So first off, how are you doing today?
Good. As you see, it's sunny in California. Where are you at?
I'm in Oregon right now.
How's the weather?
It's not too bad. It's actually pretty nice today.
Oh.
Yeah. First off, are there any questions that you're tired of answering?
No, I'm never tired of answering anything.
Alright, cool. So what are some of your favorite memories from being on All That?
I remember the orange couch. I remember being tied up to the geyser that was in Universal Studios, Florida, with Josh and Lori Beth Denberg. And I remember poor Josh was like literally sick with bronchitis and the flu. And I was laughing so hard because we never knew when the geyser was going to go off, and it was routine that every day the geyser went off at a certain time. And it was part of, I guess, one of our SNCC specials that we were doing, that we did all the time. And literally, I remember it going off, and we were just soaking wet, and poor Josh got really sick the next day, even worse. Just remember being in and out of prosthetics and being able to, be different characters. Also, just the bond of the family and the friendship that I have and had with all the cast members. Katrina Johnson is one of my best friends. Angelique Bates is one of my dearest friends. And this past year, we did that Kamikaze reunion last year, so I was able to see Lori Beth, who I hadn't seen in a long time. So I feel like it was an amazing childhood that has just created so many memories that will never change any perspective of anything. Like, I have no regrets. I would do it all over again, over and over and over again. And I just wish that I was a kid again.
It's awesome. So what was your favorite sketch to act in on All That?
Well, Kiki, the Island Girl. And it was funny because, granted, I have a lot of energy as it is as an adult. But I remember that all the time I would, literally drink a bunch of soda, eat a bunch of candy. It was like the one time my mom was like, you could eat whatever you want, and then I would just bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce and just sing forever and ever and ever. And I remember one time I was so overly hyper that I almost passed out because I just dropped. And we get that sugar rush, and then you're zoom.
Yeah.
Other than that, I would say probably Kiki the Island Girl, and then I didn't really have a name for this one character, but I was in this skit where everything was sticky, and I had a baby.
Oh, yeah.
And every time I watch that, it makes me laugh because I'm like, my baby's sticky, my baby's sticky. That's my Latina New Yorker coming out of me. So I would say that, and then just I remember there was a skit where we were all old ladies, myself and Katrina and Angelique, and I have a really cute photo of us three, and I'm like, oh God, I hope I don't look like that. I hope I age more like Betty White. Everything that we did, whether I was in and out of character or doing the opening skit, it was just a blast.
So what were some of your favorite sketches that you weren't in that you just sit back and watch?
Oh my God. I just loved watching Lori Beth play Miss Fingerly. I just thought she was so funny, and that wig was classic. Or the Loud Librarian, where, to this day, whenever I go into a library, I'm like, is Lori Beth going to come out and scream? Even though it's been a second in a library. Loved watching Katrina play Ross Perot. That was classic. No one else can play Ross Perot better than her. Loved Repairman, man, and loved her. Let's see what else. I loved when Keenan was Super Dude, so it was really fun, even though I was sad when Angelique parted and I got a chance to play Penny. It was so much fun doing the skits. And then I think Kel, who did he play? He was the one that...
Yo Girl?
Yeah. That scene was hilarious because working and like had to have like Milk spit on him all the time. And then there was this one skit that we did where, oh my gosh, we're all like in a cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the director and producers was like, all right, now you guys all have to spit milk on each other. And I'm like, ew, are you serious? And laughing so much that milk was coming out of her nose, milk was coming out of her mouth. It was really gross. And milk is not something fun that you should be played with. Like ever since I was little, milk is the one thing that I will not share.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't have my milk is my milk. No pun intended.
So did you ever receive any props or anything from the set of all that?
That's a great question. I know for a fact, like a bunch of us, when we parted or like the season wrapped every year, wardrobe would let us go through and pick like 1 or 2 or 3 like items that we really wanted to keep. So, of course, like every season, the producers or the network would give us gifts like Nickelodeon jackets or all that sweatshirts or hat and stuff like that. But I kept a lot of my crazy outfits. I was like in the 90s, which was like During and Living Color and all that stuff. I feel like I totally was like a little Jennifer Lopez. I was rocking some really crazy outfits. I had this one shirt that I was like, I thought it was the coolest shirt. And it was electric blue with like white stars all over it. And I was like very patriotic. I would say I kept a lot more wardrobe than anything. Props wise, I really wanted the big ear of corn.
Oh.
Lori Beth, I think, took one of the babies. Remember when the big ear of corn had babies?
Yeah.
And really wanted that so bad. So what I did was I stole one of the kernels.
Oh.
Epic.
That's cool.
So yeah, stuff like that. We took what we could when we could, you know?
Mm-hmm. So what kind of memories do you have from being in Nickelodeon Studios in Orlando, Florida, near Universal Studios?
Loving Florida. The minute I got to Orlando, and I think I was like 13 years old, and I was a born and raised Manhattan, New Yorker. So I did some traveling, but I mean, I think as a teenager, you only go wherever your family takes you on vacation. I mean, granted, I'm an actor, so I was blessed to be able to travel if I booked a job that was out of state, but never really went out of the country. So I was so excited just to go someplace that was different than my home. And then when I went to Florida, I just fell in love with the palm trees. Everything was so bright and sunny, kind of reminds me of California, except I would say Florida is not necessarily laid back, but it has its own vibe in comparison to the West Coast. But I just loved the weather. I thought everybody was so sweet. Everybody was beautiful. And there's so many cool different places in Florida. Like, I love Key West. I love me some Miami. Sarasota's fun. And Clearwater's beautiful. But I just loved when I was shooting all that because the studios were right literally inside Universal Studios. So whenever we could on lunch break or whenever we had a break, we would sneak into Universal Studios and ride the rides and eat a bunch of junk food and then sneak back in like, yeah, we weren't doing anything. So I think just access to being able to be inside this Universal Studios and going on all the rides at the time. And then as the show was getting more popular, like at one point they started selling merchandise of us in the stores and people started recognizing us. And also I just loved all the fans. Like without fans, all that would not be where it's been and where it is now. I mean, the fact that 2 million fans petitioned to get it back on the air over a year ago was just so humbling and really touched my heart because now I have like new fans that are like 8-year-olds and then I have their mom that's like 30, like, we love you in the background. So to see the different generations and to see that it's a show that's just relatable to anybody, just wholesome, clean fun, like SNL but for kids. And, you know, unfortunately, there's not a lot of things like that on TV anymore. Everything's reality-based. So It was just really pleasant and humbling to see it re-air. And, yeah, I guess I would say as far as Universal Studios, it's sneaking in the park, without a doubt.
That's so cool. So, in Nickelodeon Studios, did you ever visit any of the other TV show sets?
Oh, yeah, like, I think Gullah Gullah Island was taping at the time, or, remember? You to you to you. You to you. Do you remember Joanna Garcia was on that, who's now doing very well within her career?
Mm-hmm.
Joanna Garcia was on You to You, and she ended up playing Reba McEntire's daughter. in Reba McEntire. You know who Reba McEntire is?
Yeah.
The singer.
Yeah.
She played her daughter on the TV show, and now she's gone to do movies and other TV shows. I mean, it's amazing how Nickelodeon and Disney, because I play the voice of Lassie Annika from the Proud Family, is just a great platform, and it's up to us how we utilize it. You know what I mean? And God has been good to me, and I've been able to transition into being an adult where I'm able to play older roles and whatnot. And I just say the platform was just an amazing experience. I really do. I felt like it was yesterday when I think about all these.
So what kind of stuff is going on now with you?
Ooh, a lot. Let's see. Well, I have a kid's book in honor of my mom who passed away, unfortunately, in 2008. It's about a traveling animal. So it's going to be a book that is international, little bit of a Rosetta Stone kind of feel. So you'll be able to learn about different cultures and cultural experiences, and maybe learn different words in a different language. And hopefully it'll turn into a series or maybe something animated, since I do voiceover work. Working on 2 new radio shows right now. Right now I've been guest hosting on a radio show called Registered Ear Offenders that's been airing on Sirius. And if you want more information about that, you can go to alisareyes.com. That's spelled ALISAREYES.com. Or follow me on Twitter at Alisa Reyes. And then I'm also working on a new project with Katrina Johnson. Can't really tell too many details about that, but let's just say it has to do about us being best friends and having some history, and it's going to be without a doubt very entertaining. Let's just say we're sugar and spice and everything nice. Of course, I'm also a singer, so I'm working on some music. And, as an actress, I'm constantly auditioning and, having meetings with a lot of different companies and, working on some really interesting new products and merchandise that might be launched later on next year. And unfortunately, to my guy lovers that I love so much, I just recently got engaged. Katrina's honor. So that's another thing. That's not till like next year. So that's about it. I think that's enough, right? Yes. I want to see it reopened. I mean, the memories that I had in the 90s were so authentic and so organic. And if it could just be revamped and renovated and be able to be shown to the new generation, and maybe even have like cool little memorabilia, or video montages of like all that and all the different shows that were on SNCC at the time, I think that would be amazing, because it's really interesting to see how many fans really loved all that and just loved all the shows that came out of Universal. There's no reason that place should be closed. I mean, I signed the petition. I'm trying to get the word out there. I tell people, on Fridays, which after I get off with you, I'm going to do a Follow Friday, to follow it. It's an amazing cause. It would be amazing to reopen, and it's important to get the word out there. It's part of my childhood that I experienced for many years, and I think kids of all ages, doesn't matter, even if you're an adult, should go and experience it. Because we have a Universal out here that literally is not far away from where I live, and it's fun, it's cool, but the one in Orlando was like amazing. So if we can have that go on a West Coast, East Coast thing, that would be amazing. I would love to see it, and I would love to be there if that happened. But there was one thing I forgot to mention that I wanted to let my fans know. Can I let them know something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I started doing online coaching, where I just was getting a really, large amount of requests on, hey, can you give me advice on how you started acting, or, what was your motivation and all that. So a couple months ago, I paired up with this great company called LivePerson. That's L-I-V-E, person, P-E-R-S-O-N. And you can basically click onto my website, click onto my link, and I could be your life coach, where I can give you advice, whether it's just about getting into the entertainment business or maybe not getting into the entertainment business. Maybe you need a little bit of mojo, and I could be your guru to give you a little bit of mojo. So that's just something new that I'm doing on the side, but it's been doing really well, and I see that I've been able to really touch and help people, because there's only so much limited access you have on online social media, whether Twitter only allows you to do 160 little letters or whatever. So I thought, what better? I'm available via phone, via chat, or email on this live person site. So if anyone needs any help within their career, any guidance, click onto AlisaReyes.com and click on the live person link, and I'll be your life coach.
That is really cool.
Why not?
So, I'm a huge fan. Thank you so much for being here, and yeah.
You're adorable. I like your fro.
Thank you.
Anything I could do to help, Isaiah, you're adorable, and thank you so much for this love alive.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Stay in touch.
I will. All right.
Okay, are we done? Are we cool?
Yeah.
Okay, bye. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was the interview. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Alisa for agreeing to do this interview. Thank you to her publicist, Monica, who's been incredibly nice during this whole time trying to get everything coordinated to do this interview. Just, Alisa was so nice. She was like the nicest person I've ever had the pleasure of talking to. So I really hope to talk to her again soon. Please be sure to rate, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and check out the reopened Nickelodeon Studios Facebook page. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.